Githomo kia mbere. Githomo kia mbere. Tukiona Ayubu 19 23 nginya 27 nituguthoma. Andu amwe maturaga na ugima wa mwiri o nginya riria magakua. Makuaga makenete ona mahoreire. Mĩĩrĩ yao ĩrĩ ona hinya. Angĩ nao makuaga marĩ na ruo ngoro, matarĩ macama gĩkeno ona hanini. No othe makuaga magathikwo, makarĩo nĩ mũthũa. Niĩ ndĩramenya ũrĩa mũrecirĩria na ũru ũrĩa mũrayĩnjirĩria. Icio nĩcio ciugo cia Mwathani.
Psalms number 27, 1-5. Response. I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. We shall sing. I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. We sing, I believe we shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the when the wind, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fail. Though shall rise against me, in this I'll be confident. I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in time of troubles he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon the rock. He shall set me up upon a rock. I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the I believe I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living.
Ithomo ritu ria keri rikuma akonitho wa mbere 15 tuthome 50 kinya 58. Ndirenda kuga atiri ariu na ari aithe witu mwiri na thakame itingihota gukagaya uthamaki wa Ngai. Ninge kindu kibuthaga gitingihota kugaya kiria gitabuthaga. Atiriri ningumuhithuriria hitho ndimwire atiri ithuothe tutigakua no hindi iyo uria kwandikitwo maandiko-ini ni gukahinga tondu kwandikitwo atiri gikuo ni kuninwo kininitwo ohoti ni uriku uhotani ukiriku uhotani ukirikitie kwaga we gikuuri uhotani waku ukiriku we gikuuri hinya waku wako nuha ukiriha mehia nimo maheaga gikuo hinya na kunuha na mehia namo maheagwo hinya ni watho. Kirekei tucokagirie Ngai ngatho tondu niwe utuheaga uhotani ahuthirite mwathani witu Jesu Kristo. Kwa uguo ariu na ari aithe witu ri o inyue ndendete muno ri ikaragai mumiriirie na mutekwenyenyeka rutagai wira wa mwathani hindi ciothe tondu ni muwi ati gutire wira ona umwe urutaga thiini wa mwathani wi wa tuhu. Icio nicio ciugo cia mwathani. Rekei turugame tuino rwimbo rwa
Baada ya maneno hayo akawaonyesha mikono yake na ubavu wake. Wafuasi wakafurahi walipomwona Bwana. Yesu akawaambia mara ya pili, amani iwe nanyi. Kama Baba alivyonituma mimi, nami nawatuma ninyi. Baada ya maneno hayo akawapulizia akawaambia, pokeeni Roho Mtakatifu. Wowote mtakaoondolea dhambi wameondolewa, wowote mtakaowafungia dhambi wamefungiwa. Lakini Tomaso aitwaye Pacha, mmoja wa wale 12, hakuwako pamoja nao alipokuja Yesu. Basi wafuasi wengine wakamwambia, tumemwona Bwana. Yeye lakini akawajibu, nisipoona matundu ya misumari mikononi mwake na kutia kidole changu sehemu za misumari na kutia mkono wangu katika ubavu wake, sisadiki hata kidogo. Baada ya siku 8 wafuasi wake walikuwamo tena chumbani na Tomaso pamoja nao. Akaja Yesu, ingawa milango ilikuwa imefungwa, akasimama katikati, akasema, amani iwe nanyi. Kisha akamwambia Tomaso, tia kidole chako humu, tazama, usikose imani, bali uwe mwamini. Tomaso akajibu akamwambia, Bwana wangu na Mungu wangu. Yesu akamwambia, kwa kuwa umeniona umesadiki. Wenye heri wale wasioona wakasadiki. Sasa Yesu alifanya ishara nyingine nyingi mbele ya wafuasi wake, zisizoandikwa katika kitabu hiki. Lakini hizi zimeandikwa mpate kusadiki ya kuwa Yesu ni Masia, mwana wa Mungu, tena kwa kusadiki mpate kuwa na uzima kwa jina lake. Injili ya Bwana.
God is good and all the time. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo na milele na milele, amina. Dear family members, the family of now, both the late Mr. and Mrs. Joyfrey Murugami and Bibiana Jerry, in this poignant moment of sorrow, we gather to connect with you. The family that we love, the family that has bonded with most of us, the family that has left a legacy. We have come during the hour of need, offering not just our condolences, but a steadfast shoulder to lean on. We stand united in grief, ready to support you as you navigate this difficult journey. We are compassionate, just as Jesus is, and compassionately as we are, we recognize that no words can fully ease the deep emotional pain of loss. That there came a time when you were attached to both parents. There came a time when the parents offered that special care, secure base. That time that when the offspring, the children from the family came into being. But now they are no longer. It is for that reason that we experience a loss. In this period of mourning, it is the period of grief and bereavement, we experience the bittersweet nature of reflecting on the happier moments while still enveloped in sorrow. That means we look back to what Mr. Muruami has left behind, and despite the joy for the legacy, we still experience that loss, that detachment to the world that we have never gone, but hold in faith the land of the living. The bread of emotions can ultimately provide solace and inspiration, just as this woman who is famous for writing so much about funeral and the processes of death states, called Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, poignantly states, "You'll grieve forever. You will not get over the loss of a loved one, but rather you'll navigate on the methods and ways and means of living in it and with it." So therefore, just as if we have come to offer that shoulder, we live and experience the loss as part of life, because without death there is no life. Life is writing a book. Maisha ni kama yule mtu anaandika kitabu, na kwenye maandishi ya kitabu kuna maudhui, kuna mwanzo na kuna mwisho. And therefore, in this book of life you wrote and you are writing from the time you started, and now the time that you have written the closing remarks, we must remind ourselves that no story nor a book is written in perpetuity. Gutire ibuku riandikagwo forever. Nirikinyaga mwisho in worldly life. There is nobody who does not love this life. This is not the essence of existence. No matter how much we become attached to the world, no matter how we may become attached to the powers of the world, it is temporal. And definitely when we detach, and we are almost coerced to detach, we feel it. And it is the essence of insecurities in us. Instead, death now imbues life with meaning. Death imbues life with meaning, just as the acknowledgement lends significance to the narrative of the book. That when you are writing a book, you write some acknowledgements. Even in research, you recognize any person who journeyed with you or assisted you in collecting the data for the information concerned. Now, the closer of Murugami's life, or the closure of the chapter, as we take the stock of what Joyfrey has left behind, we draw the inspiration from the words of a biblical woman in the crowd who, overwhelmed by the divine activities of Jesus, declared, "Blessed is the womb that bore you and the breasts that nursed you." This is found in Luke 11:27 to 28. Just a woman was overwhelmed because of having an experience with Jesus. And despite the challenges around, she raised her voice and blessed, thank the Lord for that special attachment and conversion. Similarly, we express our gratitude to God for the parents who inculcated important values which made this man here with us, who has passed on, design a life with a meaning. That means we are likely to come into this world as bearing with us raw materials, but inspired by God, the owner of our lives, we make meaning out of our lives. It is for that reason that Mr. Murugami touches us differently. He has embodied both the spirit and essence of Job. The one that was our reflection in our first reading. In describing his values in the very script of life. Job 19:23 to 27. That just Job wonders if the ones and his values are inscribed. But now for Murugami, they are inscribed not in the stones, but in the very minds and spirits of men and women. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, the entire family, who bonded with him in times of joy and in times of sadness. We celebrate Bibi Anna Murugami, really an icon. That you know, many of us who have stayed with us and worked at Kamiredo or Garaliga for that matter, we recognize this great woman who, out of this marriage, assisted in giving the man a status. And therefore, we celebrate her because we are so certain that now she's in the land of the living, she's singing, she's glorifying the Lord around the reign of heaven, and here she is, now welcoming her husband, not for any other reason, but to bond with the spirit of angels, singing hallelujah, amen, around the reign of God. This Bibiana intimately shared with him and gave him the status of a husband, father, and respected leader that we celebrate today. It is because of the support systems of others we celebrate them. We thank the family members from the time that Bibiana experienced the demise. When you experience the demise of your mother, you did not leave this man alone. And he has not suffered any sense of loneliness in the hour of need. We celebrate you, Mr. Honorable Chenga and Clement, and we celebrate you truly that when Bishop came there to anoint, to celebrate, to pray, we would not feel the sense of an absent wife. You even came so strongly to the point of giving a hand where need be. And we celebrate you. May God bless you, Carlo, and your family, all the family members. We are here celebrating you and extending a word of telling you, keep it up. For the much you give unto this world, the world will respond to you. As we put the curtain to a close from this worldly life of Murugami, we concur with somebody called Paul Valéry, a French philosopher and a poet who wisely noted, talking too much of a person is like to be saying nothing about him. And even the gospel today has completed over the same, that if all the works and activities of Jesus were to be put into the writings, would have almost involved a lot and a lot. And therefore, just as any person has experienced Mr. Murugami differently, we therefore assess the essence of his mind, feeling, and behavior. This is the moment for taking the stock, because we are putting the curtain back. Tomorrow we shall not come back here. So therefore, we do not only sing a lot. Otherwise, even the English terminology, rigmarole, is talking too much and almost saying nothing. So wise people do not talk too much. They are likely to sieve the essence of the values or the stock taking by this great man called Mr. Murugami. During this memorial service, during the memorial service for former South African President Nelson Mandela on 10th December 2013, the former president of US, President Barack Obama, had the same words. And this is what he said: "It is hard to eulogize any man, to capture in words not just the facts and dates that make a life, but the essential truths of that person, their private joys and sorrows, the quiet moments and unique qualities that illuminate someone's soul, we are unlikely to capture all that. Otherwise, there is no person in our midst who does not share that inner life, the internal frame of reference, and your schemas that are not likely to be known by any other world apart from you, the person, the carrier of your life. And just as the closure of that life was ending, we celebrate you, your lordship, David Kamau, the father in charge, Father Kamangara, because together you came. Together you met the family. And it was on a Saturday where people are, especially bishops, are extraordinarily busy. And the bishop had all the time to be with Mr. Murugami. He was brought in the sitting room, but not other, but Clement Warorua and Honorable Chenga, and the few of us that were there. And the mind was so sound that he could recognize everything, he could recognize us, and he still had some words before he left us. And what the words, his parting words were, do not leave without eating. That means a sense of hospitality and a word of gratitude to his lordship, David Kamau. To the point that even when the man was taken to the hospital and was telling the family, now I would like to go back home. The family would only conceptualize as if he was talking, coming back to the Roni. But essentially and spiritually, he was saying, now help me to separate my worldly life with the spiritual life, allow me to go to heaven. So this is the correct meaning for the rationale that he was telling you, Cleme, and the family, take me back home in the presence of those who prayed for him, Mr. Gikonyo, Stephen Buru, and those who surrounded. We were told that we were there during the last hour, the last moment. That is a reflection of the consistency that the man has reinforced throughout his life. That even if there was nobody there, those who are there for the closure, they witnessed that the man has these two great life traits. That because we wouldn't like to talk too much about him, we would only say the man essentially celebrated and harnessed humility and generosity. Most of us who have come to eulogize or have come for masses at home, you have either captured the two, humility and generosity. The model of humility is manifest in our scriptures. The Philippian hymn, Philippians 2, 6-12, where it says, though Jesus was God, he humbled himself and became human. Though he was human, he humbled himself to become a slave. And not even being a slave, he humbled himself and accepted death on the cross. That is the symbolism of how humility ought to be conceptualized. That it is the ability and the capacity in a human being to adjust according to the times and needs. Jesus changed the same. He was able to cry during the sorrowful moment. And we see that when he visited the Lazarus family. Jesus was able to get angry. Jesus was able to celebrate in a wedding. Jesus was able to heal, being so compassionate to the point of alleviating the challenges of others. And therefore, he changed according to time and space, giving us the meaning of humility, the ability to adjust, the capacity and the means to change, to transform according to time and space. Therefore, this man that we are celebrating his life definitely personified put himself, the Spirit of Jesus, from baptism. He was humble. He brought Jesus, incarnated the Spirit of Jesus where the needs were. And definitely, the culmination of death on the cross has been symbolized not only during this last moment, but the sufferings and the challenges that the man has been going through, even to the point of getting sick. The late Murugami exemplified this by his ability and capacity to change and become relevant in time and space. You'd bear with me on the ability and the capacities that he had during his ailment time, sickness time. Again, we celebrate those who offered a shoulder to lean when the man needed in times of sickness. Humility is a legacy that he has left behind. That the world will always cheat you, almost influence you, possess everything, so that you may become proud and arrogant by Satan. That I now show that this power is yours. Adore me. That is the adoration and the inclination that are innate in us, that we want to possess in order for us to go high. We do not want that we may not become where we want to go. Let us assure ourselves during this moment when we are celebrating this part of life, that despite whatever you possess, the finality is dead. Naked you came into this world, naked shall you? Yes, you are not right. You are likely to say those who are aging are likely to go ahead of you. You are not the author of your life. God is the author. You don't know when you are likely to be taken away, and what will happen to what you have possessed, like that foolish rich man that you tell yourself, now I have the power. Oh, to you, there is nothing. It is self-deception, and definitely it is the moment that we are learning that every day is a point for detachment and taking up the cross in humility in order to reach others. Without the humility, there is no harmony. You cannot reach others. We celebrate Mr. Murugami for any activity that he did and manifested his sense of humility associated with Jesus who saved him and has saved him. The second variable, the generosity, is the essence of religion and spirituality. That if you remove this value in the Bible, it is not there. It is closely associated, compassion and generosity. I become so compassionate in you and with you, so that I may alleviate the challenges that are facing you. It replenishes life. Generosity replenishes life. And at the beginning of the public ministry, Jesus proclaimed, I have come so that you may have life and have it in full. His ministry was rooted in this multidimensional nature of helping individuals to avoid sin and illness that at times is the result of sin. Jesus would always challenge selfishness, egoism, passivity, and those people who are psychopathic. That means they are not social at all. They do not interact, and they are so much and highly interacting with non-life beings, material things of the world. Jesus would challenge at all time in the midst of the society. He tested the waters for apathy before feeding the crowd with loaves. And what did Jesus quip? Give them something to eat. Give them something to eat. You recall that people are saying, Jesus has told the disciples, now tell them to go home and eat there. And we do not have anything. And even when Jesus persists, we are told they are not parting with anything. And they are saying it is only this lad who has something kept, and we can now people can eat. Now I would you would now of that he says, now if you experience and practice generosity and compassion, God will perform miracles, and miracles happen because it is out of giving that you open the heart. People who are mean close the heart and put up very heavy padlocks, because when they part with anything, they fear they will become poor. Now Jesus tells everybody, open your heart. Akubatura guoko gwake kiria giothe giki kimuoyage katia akihunia akubatura guoko gwake. Guoko gwaku kwagirwo ni gukorwo kuhana uguo gukumbaturitwo tondu ti guoko ni ngoro. Ngoro iria heani niyo yamukagira, na ngoro iria yamukagira Ngai amiheaga kihonia mahinda mothe. Tondu waheana, there is always, we always say there is joy in giving than receiving. Wege keno ukiheana gukira ki gukira kiamukira. Na kwoguo ri Yesu niguo arenda ati tuhana uguo hindi ria twamukira injiri thiini wake, then even that which is so limited will be multiplied in us. Jesus also would put the case, the same waters about the case of the woman caught committing adultery. And Bartimaeus, for those who are celebrated our services on Sunday, the Catholics, the bride man at Jericho. The people as if people are incapacitated. The man is calling, Son of David, have mercy on me. And what are they responding? Now keep quiet. Then Jesus persists, and then they are calling, hey, even there is nobody who is coming to give the man a hand. And towards the end, is for that reason that the brightness is alleviated. The healing is given that without the brightness, the man could not be saved. That means at the times God uses some challenges, some means that we feel sufferings in order for us to know the power of the resurrection. In the call to empathy and compassion, Jesus called his followers to break free from the disconnect that brightens the spiritual eyes. Today we have read that gospel from St. John, and the people are likely to label Thomas negatively. That Thomas, why are you questioning about faith? Thomas, why should you not believe without seeing? But you know very well, without Thomas, there would be no new development of God. Gai wakwa na mwathani wakwa na mwathani wakwa na Gai wakwa toigo uguo mwathani wakwa na Gai wakwa. If Thomas was not there, there would be no that development. Why? This being a spiritual gospel, it started. The world became, in the beginning was the world, and the world was with God, and there was darkness, and darkness would not conceptualize the light. Now it started with highs, with the spiritual. All along it has developed as a spiritual gospel. But Jesus would like to create the harmony of those who experience and those who are spiritual, and therefore he comes in. Thomas comes in, and now he says, unless I touch, I cannot believe. Now see the humility and agreeableness of Jesus. He does not enter into any conflict. The apostles are interested in entering into conflict, but not to Jesus. He cooperates. Now Thomas come, touch. Now Thomas do 1, 2, 3. Now Jesus promises. It is that character of Jesus that is teaching me and you. Then that partly that we found in Mr. Murugami, the essence of agreeableness, which reflects traits that joyfully manifested, such as kindness, empathy, and cooperativeness, emphasizing a person's concern for social harmony. Jesus is interested in social harmony. He is harmonizing those who experienced him while he was alive. And he's harmonizing those people who have felt, who have experienced him during the resurrection. And all of them are encompassed into one of one humanity of God, and hence demand that you claim you are my God and my Lord. In that gospel that we have read, Jesus demonstrates a remarkable sense of compassion in his encounter with Thomas. Instead of rebuking Thomas for his doubt, Jesus generously meets him from the point of limitation, and so transforms his disbelief through generosity, through compassion. Clustering believers and non-believers that would invite sin and division. Mr. Murugami is known to be a very kind person, that even like Jesus, he would body with people. He would body with people of all ages. My first experience with him was when I was appointed to the parish of Garariga Parish. Cameredo was part of this parish. Now Cameredo was part of Garariga, and therefore these are the key people that we would encounter. First, because he was a leader, because he was a teacher, because he was really a person that you could not ignore. Most of the time we could come, get a word from him, a word of counsel. And you know very well that was when I was appointed here. And being young, mwanake no mwanake. Yono gako maguta moimete ku. Mwanake no egukoro eke, mwanake. No redie uruto wa bebe, no redie mwe dio ile mwe ugucererio ni kwaria baudu tekwenda. Ukiri mwanake na maudu maige duonete. No le ule gucererio rege ugethie ru mukiona na kai maitho mahingagwo. No regethie wone heka ire tukaria heka na ni kare. Ndirenda we okorwo uri uhiana. Todo he was a compassionate person. Kwede mwe twakigire na encounter woku kamirithu na amwe ni maririkanaga na nigwenda kumuririkania nigetha aria matari aciare magakiririkana ati kwede akioya githuki kiari kinene muno kia mutarakwa kia muti wa mitino ya mikakava ngimuria riu bata watwara ndari that year theology ngimuria bata watwara kia mugikiku ndathie gutwara kuria gatwike aritari nake agiticaria kiragita agioka agicimbira hau kuria kamere thukumuona agicimbirwo igikirwo gicoka gikihandirwo mahua mathiurukite kuu guothe riu ndathiaga hau ndigwika mitha andu makanja ona tutigukuonaga uthiurukiirio ni mahua na githuki kiu gacukite ikahandwo manyamu ona ndiamenya ni matu kiangoria kari shaitani muhande haria ni ndiamenya ni ndu hande kuu riu muthenya umwe ngiuga giki ni ngumunya na tondu ndamenya atugucemania na andu resistant ngimenya ndakoretwo ndivangite ngiambiriria kumeta ngita parish council ngimera kinyamu kiaria ndirona riu rekei tucerie andu liturgists riu tabena matutare ni atia gwikagwo kwina nyamu alitari ciagirwo ni gwa kuihiana atia na ndiki kiagirwo ni gwitwo inculation. Amwe matingeiguire uguo ni kuga atia ukerwo we father uria turoiga eka ndio tikandi no utunga akire ku ngigithie gwika no utunga ngikimwira riu ri kuria kuhana kuhiana akijira ni ndakurathima rucini ndathimetwo na nie ngiuka tagala yuka riu ndikinyire no kiragita no kamugia gutarara ndokire nakio kia mukire agekira tarara gicoka gicaria pick up ciothe igekirwo igitwarwo ngathi miceni riu ri niramenyaga wega muno ndikumetia bia nitwariti na cardinal kuria kuruta bia nigetha twithondeke alitari njegega na kuria liturgy of the world irikoragwo i prominence tiguthiurukirwo ni indo tarona hindiria andu mokire riu ri andu moka kiumia makirigwo kana niwe eretwo sweet bitterness goko mararakara na ni akenu sweet bitterness riu ri atwacimanirie na Mr. Murugami riu andofu matiameyandĩkia atia mekunjira ti ndamenya atia kunjira gucira ndiwe wari chairman ndiari kana no Murugami ehithite uguo mutekumuona nigetha mutikambiririe kumunegenera nie okire akituria maru ngimura ndie muthikabu nie enda kakumuonja eta bishops ni undu wa wira wao ni makoragwo manetwo bete muvia ndanetwo bete riu ri akijira we ugurekire kinyira hau na nie ngimenya riu ukuri uyu ni leader ni ajira kinyira hau na kuria nderwo kinyira hau na riu ri kiumia makarigwo nete megwika kwe kundu kumwe twanetana tuwetana micemanio tugicoka ningi gwaka nyumba iyo ya masista niki tugithi tukiambiriria tukiaria na cardinal tukirana atiriri riu ri Limuru nirahingurwo parish na ni kwaga twakaga ni undu wa Franciscans ni murarikana tukimiaka na twanyitanaga parish iri yothe kwoguo ri tukiuga atiriri riu kuma kuu ri tugucoka riu twake nyumba ya masista nigetha hau hena population cardinal utunga ni akona bata muno na population iyo nigetha andu mateithio kwaga kunyua vangi na ki turehe maundu ma ndagitari na turehe parish hau nigetha fathers makuhiriria andu na magie na transformation riu ri ngioka ndoka ri ngikora haria ngikora we ni muthuri uria waregagira hau tukimwira ni tugukuhe mugunda kuria roreto ni ndi kwagayagwo akiuga iyo ne ngikorwo wi ngarango ndikwenda ngarango reke njikare na ndio adetwo ikaigire na ndiugwa na tondu nake ni aicokire agitwo riu ni haria he nyumba ya father ni mwagicokire aya Holy Ghost moka ni makimenyire method nie akana ikoragwo ndi wa gutafatafa ndi barabara nyingi muno na ndiafa makaga tondu yo niguo nie hana na ndikwenda ukorwo tanie na nie ndiri uyu kana uri ungi kwoguo ri ngikimenya riu nyumba gwaka ona mutekumenya tuyoka tukianjia kwambia nyumba iyo tukiaka tukimiaka na iwe mukiambiriria gwaka nyumba ya father mwena uri ungi riu na Murugami hindi yo ni arikara akihuragira thimu twi uria twetanaga na twari ndugu iwe ni mwega muno ikundu kumwe twacemanagia kwa ithe wa Ceke akaro makihika gwi kundu kumwe twacemanagia bada kwende twetete ithe wa SK akigeria kurega guka harambe imwe uyu niwe wari chairman wakwa ndukirugame we wonekane we ucio ni muthuri wari chairman na niwe wahoire muthuri uyu akiinuka leo ithe wa head mwe twamwitete harambe ndue kana hari Limuru town tukigeria njira citu na tukigeria na ithe wa Kameri ngai muhurukie wega tukigeria tukimenya ri tugicira na ithe wa Ceke u niguo tukumwira riu riria okire aikarire tari mundu muohe tondu twamurehire haria hetagwo ritakioho tukimwira ndake ithe SK acokire roki akiuga father ndui no yu mwathika riu gutiru ndinyite gwika o uria murienda na ndakwira harambe kuria Limuru ni undu wa hinya wa athuri a murona haha aria matutarie na matunyitirire ni twekire uria wothe tungiekire na umwe wa aria tungiririkana development ire hana korwo guku ni Murugami ati umuthe korwo ciugo ciake iria nie ndanaigua no ndimurutire ndimwire tugithie kuna kinya hindi no amagiko mohiki no ndirarikana tuokaga guku tukoiga tukambiriria rugendo kuna tugakinya hana ndugwika uguo na ni ukuona riu akaro hindi o mari airetu riu ciana ciao ni wairetu karo iku tamonie riu karo ni ndrugame niki kai ni ucio niwe Karo wa the only girl the only girl yetugo yeure ne tukwendete na ni undu wa kurutithia urutani ura baba wanyu na kurutithia ana mutara ni ukuna uri onyitete mucie ni ukuna uri mutigite bwana jenga na family munyitete mecie gutire kindu kingi baba wanyu angira mutigire ta kiu rekei turumirire muhiano uyu ati love your family aka gituge kiri okumenya ati ona wakura ni ukarira withiini ukuru ria gake no tatigane kata dakora ikwa gwere uyu ni gutigatiga na tiga gikeno tondu mundu wothe we urwedo and generous ni mundu mukeni na watiga ukenete uguthie ikenero githeti tago ikenero no ngekorwo watiga unyitetwe thi wohetwo ni thi ni undu wa indo na ni undu wa power kaugithie kundu katari omeo ira yuka gutunyarira guku ukaigwa ndi hovering around ndi muraigwa muthenya mutheru Peter akiuga mwemenyerere tondu shaitani is hovering around looking for somebody to eat katari mioyo ira inyitete thi tondu ndiendaga gukua mathire na hinya reke twe ithuothe turi hananie muturo witu na wa Yesu nigetha ona hindi ria gikuo gigoka tondu twiga tugutukukeragia ciugo nyingi Mr. Murugami tuwekugira kwa heri wathie wi muthuri urari muthuri uraturaga wendete athuri guku kwaku kwanarĩrwo mburi guku kwaku andu manoka kubangira maharambe we kuria St. Paul gutura yukaga mbere ikuria iguru muno ri mundu akionete maitho ma president nikuga ni mundu wanaruta wira niturakugira uhoro twina gikeno ati this is the gift that God gave into the world nituramucokeria ni undu wa gutuhe Mr. Murugami na ithue tukamugaya we thank you tondu tumukwagaite oguo orona yu mumugaite na riu ri tondu we ni athie tu gutire hindi tutangitwo ni mwathani we do not belong to ourselves we belong to our Lord na riu ri ha tondu timutumia riu twathika bibiana ni twone na ciugo iria twamwirire riu ici ni Mr. Murugami na twahoya ati oguo aramunyitite guoko na akaofa safe haven nigetha murerwo na njira njega orona ithue rai na ithue tukiri athuri tumenye ati thino ni ukite na kihukanio icio nicio ciugo ciakwa cia muico ati thino ni ukite na kihukanio hindi ria atumia marakua mena miaka hakuhi igana athuri marakua wakinya 60 riu ukambiriria kuga ni gukwenderenda gukua na ni andu aingi muno ungiuga 60 na maranyua matawa ati ona turaha tungiikaranga nimekunjira fatharikia na wire bishop arikie nige tondu twaikaranga ni gukua nje tondu na hindo ni 60 na hindo we 60 ni tondu ringi ndwa investire no turo waku twakorwo ni johi turanyua tugakasafa hypertension ari kana thuri aingi muno ndirari kuria Karinga na hari muthuri twagirire mugunda athiete akanyua njohi agacoka ningi agathie riua-ini ta riri atene gicimba nigetha mutumia wake aigadithie he mutumia riua riria riokire rikimuniaria acaririo thiku igiri ena hypertension na ndaranyua njohi na no riu oru akiri mutongorio wakwa riu ndie ni hau ndikiui tondu ni ndabwatikira ugwa hiena no ni hypertension tondu kainge turacaria solace consolation na kunywa njohi ririkana ndoiga ni kihukanio ni tondu wake muthenya wa muthi thi irorete ku empower a woman na mutumia ni mo empower na ka empower properly ona ngikwa ni turaigo horo wa bacon boy na tukoigo horo wa care of the boy child mutumia gwe handu haria agakorwo akinyite gwikinya 2030 na magekirwo hinya magacoka na ukinya makambiriria ku develop LGBTQ ni undu andu aria metagwo liberal feminists ate nigetha meherie muthuri thiini wa turo wao. Riu ri muthuri ndakiumbitwo guo no mwaka korwo mutumia hakuhi nake ro no ngira ndirekire karisachi kangi ndiro kuria mugwa ni kuogoragwo ndirona miaka 10 gutire mutumia ono umwe ndui tene ni kuoragwo atumia ni moraga riu gutire mutumia ono umwe orora miaka 10 tene wathiaga ugakoma ugakora gwaku kwina kirori giukire giakua itanda giakua indo ciothe ukamberia guthii square A. Riu uraceria uri rathi akike njoke kwa mami kai kuracokwo katari athuri marora tondu ureherwo maundu urege kwaririo na ndungira na nduri na wiyathi tondu rangikorwo wina mugunda ikemwe ni wanyu nau umuthe umunegenere kana ugutheruhi wiku wika ndiwe niku urokora jaji mutumia ni ugwitikia ni ukurukunda we. Riu ri ithu athuri twi handu hairu na tutangithie tukiadjustaga hau niho riu iragwo humility adjust according to the time na adjust na njira iriku ati wendo wigarure no nyite mutumia waku uri uramworagiria iga tiguo kumwariria ki riu tene ni kuhura turahuraga riu ti kuhura riu we muthuri thaitha gutire mundu uri warwara ni guthaitha gutire riu thaitha toshiringi toroko kwa na tu ati no wathie atireke thie riu ni ndathie riu gwicaria ndui gukiragwo gukura karia ndiwe ne ko hage wirikirie wathie na kou riu ningi ugakora kou urachunga muthenya tondu uramenya niki kuhana. You are in a total confusion na wamenyekana ni ugwitikia tondu where you do not belong yourself mutumia riu ni urakurora na ndurumeni kuri urathie ungegeria riu ri hinya wa undurume urakua ni tondu nduraigua wina rwendo hormones iria idevelopaga the ability for sexuality igakua tene na igekirwo thiini wa atumia na hindi ria makura magakorwo mathiurukiirio kuria na iguru gukaroria ukona ndui kigoti ungikihura guku kiumaga guku gikagia na giko wakora muthuri arehurira gikuwe leo wiki wakora ki riu ri tukayuria atiriri ithue turorete ku na riu kiuria no kimwe gucoka baraginyo he Ngai witu ati Ngai ndatutiganagĩria tene uraturaga ugaga nie nie kiongo kia mucie atene ugaga bika ukamukiria na mbeca tondu wa mutunya ni egugwathikira riu muthenya wa muthi nduri na wiyathi tondu mbeca ni kugera iragerera egukwira ni kiria gigiatu ni gitu no kiria kina ndina kio ni giakwa kwoguo mbeca ni ciako cia mwisho ici he muini witagwo Lana D Ray ntumwa ni menocrat singer maina nyimbo cia solo ni muini wa kuria New York ainete rwimbo rwa kuga I was born to die na rwimbo rwona no uthie wikire ugeria ucarie YouTube wikire I was born to die by Ray na riu Ray ni muiretu waciarirwo utongai-ini na aciarwo utongai-ini akiaga opportunity cia guthie kunyitana na rika riake na kwoguo ri hindi ria areragwo I experienced loneliness tondu athie kuri idonga take taciari ake uria mari agakorwo thiini wa crowd areciria manyitanite na andu no ni wiki agacoka ningi agithie kuri gang ni muigua makiuga mimi naenda kutafuta gang yangu athie kwi gang agacoka ningi akona me kunywa manywe fangi na mwisho-ini atigwa rio lonely ni mukuona rwimbo ruu ageciria riu loneliness yakwa no nyitanire na githee na ona ndikumona hau ungikira YouTube ni ukuona akigeria kuhura githee kisi na kio githee kamunengera gutu etondu ramenya kisi ni ndu ciathirire mahinya mathirire riu ri muiritu akamenya akoria riu ri nie niku tibwo githee tondu ndiarenda ni amaka muno ndakehene kwirika riake ndagaciare riu arenda githee na githee gitioi kisi huragwo atia Getio rwendo ruhana atia getingihota kwita mundu maravidavi na mahabuba ni mapenzi githe no gikwirire twaturaga ona mutumia akwa ni shu no ta shushu wanyu riu kaire tu akariwo riu ni naki riu kaire tu akoroke so lonely ni karaikara but she's dead na hau no riu kainete ruibo I was born to die na kaige niguo tuhiana ati we they know no you are surrounded by loss, pain and suffering and it is only in you rurwe theino waku na ndurahota kwaria tondu athuri tutiraria na uririkane wega muno utekwaria mwarikana yithu katholiki ni mwateire hinya wa sakramenti ya umburi yale yakiritwo hunyu ndo wake nigetha wihate nigetha itagwo talk therapy tondu wina talk therapy utekumenya ni uratuika your body with the higher being than you na ngai waku riu yo ni okire bwe muthuri ndakihota oigaga ndangihota kumbura tondu riu ndehota muthuri ndakihota kwaria ndombetwe wa kwaria tondu mutumia ahayagwo kwaria ni undu wa kurera gitiguo riu muthuri wira wake ni guthie guceria nyama arehere mutumia na murehere irio na haria araruta ndekwariria muno nigetha kimundu kingi gitikokekiie nikio makiraga riu muthuri ri onona thina arathia kirite tondu ndarira mundu muthuri ri theino wake ni kuri warario na ni tondu ndari na rwimbo ona rongeranye kuina ura me kuina ni kindu kia bata muno na iyo ona iyo muraina nyimbo cia katholiki ona mukaina tondu mukaira ikenero tondu nyimbo ni kurehagira gikeno na mukarehe athuri aingi muthuri ndari kiina na ni warikana waina ona ukorwo wi murakaru ni gutheka mundu athekaga ngire tiguo ndari kiina ndari katia kogwa kahana ta as if that person was born to die na kule ndo ingi makuite nikio urona matawa mari uranyua na no uhote kumatiga go back to the drawing board wira mwathani ke gukuhiririe akuhutie na nie gukuonia njira atwiraga atia I'm the way the truth and the life na gutire mundu okaga kuri nie akanumerera ngacoka ndimutige alone mwathani aturathime ninyu athuri sustainable development goals no irathorwo ruraya maundu no maroka ku empower atumia aya ona wona mario hau no marathie na mbere na ku empower na kuheo bia na gwikirwo maundu mothe nawe riu wiyuri atiriri am I dead tiga kwenda gukua when you are supposed to be living wahota guthie ukore mutheru Peter akwire woka wikata nducoka kuria waima utegugititwo wahota guthie muraika akwire ni tutina gwita riu ri ugicoka guku na guku ni tuguthikire riu where do you go kiu ni kiuria ugwicokeria tukire ithe wa Tony thie na wega goodbye kiria giothe wana tweka kiega we are proud and celebrate you riu we makoini ma ngai aguthondeke akwehererie kiria giothe kiana korwo ki uhuthu-ini waku ni undu wa igo na riu uingire ikenero mbere ya ngai uinage aleluya aleluya kinyagia hindi ria tugoka nie riria ngoka ndigakorwo ngicariria mundu ukunyamukira we niwe ukanyamukira tumukumie Yesu Kristo
Leke sitikire kurugama
tumwombe kwa dhati Mungu Baba Mwenyezi ambaye alimfufua Kristo mwana wake toka wafu kwa ajili ya wokovu wa uzima wa wafu.
Alema sobre mawe makrede
tuhoe niundu wa kanitha mwathani ni twateka kanitha yaku mwathani moko-ini maku
tukienda siakusia mo anya toikurukira wa kumodero tota ukumenya ukwenda na gutungata tukuriyo ni kana siakusia mwanya batonya akurumia witiki witu na tota kujia injiri yaku kuri andu othe mwathani mothe ukumenya otega mwathani atogoritu mwathani agerocio the mwathani kuma popo ginya ona ria matudukatagira miaki-inĩ itu mwathani utuigue reke tutege kidaka mwathani turigitwo kana ni bururi wa tuheire kana ni ungi tuthie mwandike na rumo na wendani twereria mwathani ungumania ukoroku utoe wendo na iguani na urumwe tutoikira mwathani twetie ukabira tukikenagira ati turi a Kenya mwathani utuigue
ithe itu mwega nitugucokeria ngatho ni tondu we niwe kiambiriria kia micii riria wombire Adamu na Hawa na ithuothe nikuo twaumire nitukoya tondu tukaga tugithiaga o ukiriaga andu angi mucii uyu watigwo ni muthuri uyu hamwe na micii iria ingi haha towe kirathimo kuma kuri we ni tondu othe ni bateire hinya mweru ona wiyumiriria riria kwahana uria kuhana riu muthuri towe wehera kana mutumia ehera nitukoya wega wa kuingirira ciana citu na aria maritigagwo na thutha na to turi aku tutarage o muthenya no atwe kumiriria mwathani utuigue no gutukoya ni undu wa meyo aria mathiite na to uyu wiki wi haha ondu micingi irigiceirie iri ona kiriro mwathani rikano andu acio o turia twiha gikaro-ini giki nigetha marathime toria wanarathima aria angi umomiririe toguo twomiririo nginya ni ciugo cia Ngai nigetha mamenye ati ni kuri rucio kuri aria matigitwo na thutha mahote kwiyumiriria mwathani utuigue
o ringi mwathani twi haha tukirite kithe witu ni kuhotwo ni wega waku mwathani na tukaririkana kiheo kiki kia goro watuhete kia Mr. Jeffrey ithe witu tukahoya ni undu wa kioneki kiria arari nakio ni undu wa mucio waku mwathani ni aratwiraga ati ni angienda gutiga mucio warika nikio mwathani miaraho ya umuthi ni turamuririkana na tukahoya mwathani utuhe mbeu njithi utuhe andu a gukua kioneki kiu nigetha wira ucio mwathani ndukahotome riu mwathani tukihoya uguo tukahoya mwamukire ime-ini riega ria matu-ini mwathani utuigue
Bwana, tunakuomba dua na maombi yetu yawasaidie watumishi wako marehemu ili wafutiwe dhambi zao zote na uwashirikishe ukombozi wako kwa njia ya Kristo Bwana wetu. Amina. libariwe na Mungu Baba Mwenyezi. Na pia kwa mafaa yetu sisi na Bwana, tunakutolea kwa unyenyekevu dhabihu hii. Tunakuomba rehema yako kwa ajili ya wokovu wa mtumishi wako Mulogami, na kwa kuwa hakutia shaka kwamba mwanao ndiye mwokozi mwema, tunakusihi umjalie ili amfikie na mwanae na kumuona yeye aliye hakimu mwenye huruma, anayeishi na kutawala daima na milele. Bwana awe nanyi. Inueni mioyo. Tumshukuru Bwana Mungu wetu. Kweli ni vema na haki, tendo la kufaa na la kuleta wokovu. Tukushukuru wewe daima popote, Bwana Baba uliye mtakatifu, Mungu mwenyezi wa milele, kwa jina ya Kristo Bwana wetu. Yeye ndiye wokovu wa ulimwengu, uzima wa wanadamu, ufufuko wa wafu. Kwa njia yake majeshi ya malaika hushuhudia adhama yako, wakifurahi daima na milele mbele ya uso wako. Tunakusihi utujalie tujiunge nao kwa wimbo wa sifa, tukishiriki kusema kwa shangwe. Bwana kweli mtakatifu, na kile kiwetu jana kina kusifu kwa haki. Maana kwa jia mwana Bwana wetu Yesu Kristo, na kwa uwezo tedaji wa Mtakatifu, unavitia uzima vitu vyote na kutakatifuza, wala huwezi kukusanya watu kwako. Itoka moyo hata macho yake, dhabihu safi itolewe kwa jina lako. Basi Bwana, tunakusihi kwa nyenyekevu vipaji hivi ambavyo tumekutolea, ili vitakaze upende kuitakatifuza kwa Roho huyo, ili viwe mwili na damu ya Bwana wetu Yesu Kristo, aliyetuamuru tuadhimishe mafumbo hayo. Maana yeye mwenyewe usiku ule alipotolewa, alitoa mkate na akikushukuru, aliubariki, akaumega na akawapa wafuasi wake akisema, "Toaeni mle nyote, huu ndio mwili wangu utakaotolewa kwa ajili yenu. Vivyo hivyo, baada ya kula, akitoa kikombe na kushukuru, alikibariki na akawapa wafuasi wake akisema, "Twaeni mnywe nyote, hiki ndicho kikombe cha damu yangu, damu ya agano jipya na la milele, itakayomwagika kwa ajili na kwa ajili ya wengi kwa ondoleo ya dhambi. Fanyeni hivi kwa ukumbusho wangu." Fumbo la imani. Tunapoadhimisha ukumbusho wa mateso ya mwanao yaleta wokovu pamoja na ufufuko wake wa ajabu na kupaa kwake mbinguni, tunapotazamia ujio wake wa pili, tunakutolea kwa shukrani sadaka iliyo hai na takatifu. Tunakuomba uyaangalie matoleo ya kanisa yako na kutambua yeye aliye kafara, ambaye ulitaka kutulizwa kwa sadaka hivyo chake. Ujalie tunatua nguvu kwa mwili na damu ya Kristo, na kujazwa na Roho wake Mtakatifu, tupate kuwa mwili mmoja na roho moja katika Kristo.
Yeye atufanye sisi tuwe kwako sadaka timilifu ya milele, ili tuweze kupata urithi pamoja na wateule wako, kwanza kabisa pamoja na Bikira Maria mwenye heri, mama wa Mungu, na Mtakatifu Yosefu mume wake huyo bikira, na mitume wako wenye heri na mashahidi wako watukufu, na watakatifu wote ambao tunategemea kupata daima msaada wa maombezi yako mbele yako. Tunakuomba Bwana, huyu aliye kafara na upatanisho wetu, alete amani na wokovu duniani kote, upende kulimalishia katika imani na mapendo kanisa lako linalosafiri hapa duniani, pamoja na mtumishi wako Baba Mtakatifu wetu Francisco na askofu wetu Philip, pamoja na masaidizi wake Bishop David na Simon Peter, pamoja na maaskofu wote, wakili wote na watu wote unaowafanya kuwa taifa lako. Usikilize kwa wema sala za jamaa ulioita hapa mbele yako. Baba uliye mtakatifu, kwa huruma yako wakusanye kwako wanao wote waliosawanyika popote duniani.
Umkumbuke mtumishi wako Joyfrey Morogami, uliyemuita kwako kutoka dunia hii. Umjalie kwamba yeye ambaye alishirikishwa kifo cha mwanao kwa ubatizo, hata kadhalika ashirikishwe ufufuko wake, siku ambapo atawafufua wafu katika miili yao kutoka ardhini. Hapo ataufananisha mwili wa unyonge wetu na mwili wa utukufu wake. Pia uwapokee kwa wema katika ufalme wako ndugu zetu marehemu na wote walioaga dunia wakiwa wamekupendeza. Nasi tunatumaini kufika katika ufalme huo, ili pamoja tushibishwe milele kwa utukufu wako. Ndipo utakapofuta kila chozi katika macho yetu. Maana kwa kukuona wewe Mungu wetu kama ulivyo, tutafanana nawe milele yote, na tutakusifu bila mwisho. Kwa njia ya Kristo Bwana wetu, ambaye kwa njia yake unaujalia ulimwengu mema yote.
kwa njia yake, pamoja naye na ndani yake. Wewe Mungu Baba Mwenyezi, katika umoja na Mtakatifu, unapata heshima yote na utukufu milele na milele. Na sasa kwa kutia agizo la Mwokozi wetu na tukifuata mafundisho yake Mungu, tunadhubutu kusema: Baba yetu uliye mbinguni, jina litukuzwe, ufalme wako ufike, utakalo lifanyike duniani kama mbinguni. Utupe leo mkate wetu wa kila siku, utusamehe makosa yetu kama tunavyosamehe, utitie katika kishawishi, lakini Bwana kuomba utuomboe katika maovu yote, jalie kwa mama maishani mwetu, kuzuri kwa msaada huruma yako, tuopolee daima na dhambi, watu sifadhaishwe na jambo lolote, tunamtazamia tumaini lenye heri na ujio wa Mwokozi wetu Yesu Kristo. Amina wako na utukufu. Bwana Yesu Kristo, uwaambia mitume wako, amani na acheni imani yangu na wapa. Tazame dhambi za imani ya kanisa lako, upende kulijalia amani na umoja kama alivyo mapenzi yako, unayeishi na kutawala milele na milele. Amani ya Bwana iwe daima nanyi. Na sasa mpeane amani. Tazama mwana kondoo wa Mungu, tazama ndo dhambi za ulimwengu. Hiyo alikuwa kwenye karamu ya mwana kondoo. Bwana, sistahili ingia kwangu, lakini sema neno tu na roho yangu itapona.
thakame ya Yesu enyũmĩrĩrie maĩ ma mbaru cia Yesu mathambie itandĩro rĩa Yesu rĩng'une. Yesu mwega ũnjigue ũhithe ngura-inĩ ciaku ndũkanandekie ona rĩ ũndeithie mbara-inĩ ya Saitani ikuũ-inĩ rĩakwa ũnjĩte gwaku nĩ nema Mwathani arĩ nawe we ũrĩ mũrathime kũrĩ akothe na Yesu mũciare nĩ nda yaku nĩ mũrathime. Ndĩ ndungata ya Ngai nĩngũkũgeithia Maria mũiyũre nĩ nema Mwathani arĩ nawe we ũrĩ mũrathime kũrĩ akothe na Yesu mũciare nĩ nda yaku nĩ mũrathime. Nakĩo kĩa Ngai nĩkĩagĩire mwĩrĩ nĩngũkũgeithia Maria mũiyũre nĩ nema Mwathani arĩ nawe we ũrĩ mũrathime kũrĩ akothe na Yesu mũciare nĩ nda yaku nĩ mũrathime. Tũhoere na mũtheru wa Ngai nĩtũhoe nĩtwakũhoya Mwathani wĩkĩre nema yaku mĩoyo-inĩ itũ na ithuĩ nĩtwamenyithio nĩ mũraika atĩ Yesu nĩatuĩkire mũndũ tũhote kũriũka na gũkumio nĩ ũndũ wa thĩna na wa mũtharaba wake twakũhoya guo tũkĩgweta Kristo we mwene Mwathani witũ nĩgũtwi arokumio Ngai the Mwana na Muoyo Mũtheru
Kĩambĩrĩria rĩu na hingo ciothe na magana-inĩ ma mĩaka nĩgũtuĩke
arokumio Ngai the Mwana na Muoyo Mũtheru
Kwambĩrĩria rĩu na hingo ciothe na magana-inĩ ma mĩaka nĩgũtuĩke guo
arokumio Ngai the Mwana na Muoyo Mũtheru
Kĩambĩrĩria rĩu na hingo ciothe na magana-inĩ ma mĩaka nĩgũtuĩke guo
mũraika wa Ngai ũrĩ mũreri wakwa ũrĩa ndũgamĩrĩra na ũnjathe nĩ ũndũ ndakũnengerirwo nĩ Ngai nyene tha nĩgũtuĩke guo.
Rekei twĩtĩkĩre kũrũgama nĩgetha tũkorwo na rwĩmbo rwa gũcokeria Ngai witũ ngatho. Wanakwaya.